second here.
People have no idea how healthy I am.
Yo, Nick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Supptalk Radio. I am excited because we have got the true cast of characters. My first guest has been a while since he's been on the show. He's the man that gives plenty of Fs, but never asks for anything in return. My boy Nick James of Raze Nutrition.
Yeah. What's going?
Followed by the player of the Himalaya, the original OG muscle player. Welcome back, Uncle Eddie.
Oh, shit, Nick. Don't be jealous. I'm competing with you, Nick. Look, check it out.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Oh, shit. Those seconds.
Oh, man.
Damn.
And, of course, we had to beautify this podcast, bringing on the Matt Damon, the Hugh Jackman, the man of the hour. James from Impel Nutrition is back. Welcome.
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
He's the Jason Statham of the industry, except he's got hair. Jason ain't got no hair. He's got a big-ass bald spot from his drugs.
Damn. See, I still got mine.
Whoa. Simmer down.
Sean, you should have got on that finasteride. Come on, bitch.
You look at that hairline. See that hairline? It's like halfway down my head right there. Yeah.
Is that why you do that?
For the show? You do a touch-up just for the show, Nick?
Nah, it's been like 3 weeks since I got a haircut.
That's what happens when you don't have hair. It doesn't grow back.
You know, I gotta look cute every once in a while. They're gonna have sex with me. You know, it's like.
So Eddie, before we officially start, I need some intro music. Can you sing that lovely song you sang a couple of weeks ago?
Shamil. Shamasel.
No.
Incorporated? I don't know.
The kitty song.
I just told fucking beard hair pubics in my mouth. Hold on.
Yeah,
I never had a beard like this before.
Porn star, bro. I don't want to hear you complaining about pubes in your mouth. You suck on me.
I don't know how you boys do it. God bless you.
Oh my! So once again, our biggest fan here, Mr. Pete. About
Pete!
fucking time.
Hey. Pazumas.
Petey Pablo. What's up? Hey.
Old
And of
man
course, hair on
stroking
top
over there.
is overrated.
Something's wrong. Hold on.
So Nick, we'll ask you first question here, coming from Pete, no less. Okay, do you have something secret in the works that you want to share?
Well, I do have something in the works. That would be the Immortal X Black Edition.
That's racist as fuck.
It is.
Sign me up.
I was gonna call it the Immortal X White Edition.
Whoa.
But cancel culture would have been like, fuck you. So right now it's we call it BSM, Black Stimulants Matter. So
Hey, I gotta go.
I saw the ratings drop. Sean, I'm out.
Yep. I just got demonetized. Sorry, I gotta go.
ain't got nothing to do with this fucking clown. I'm good.
Wow. 4 minutes in and we're officially off the rails, folks.
Sean,
Nick, do I even want to know what the caffeine content is of that bad boy?
Well, the caffeine, I mean, currently in Immortal X, caffeine is 510 milligrams. But it's like a gentle 510 milligrams. It's not like a kick you
Gentle?
Yeah.
510 milligrams.
Gentle.
The caffeine content on black will be pretty much the same. However, it is a little less pumpy. And we'll just say it's a little more stimmy. This is Formula 4 for Immortal. The first formula, which Eddie can attest to, tasted pretty much like kerosene. It was so bad that if you were drinking it on the way to the gym and you spilled some on your shorts or your shirt, your clothes smelled like that till you washed it. That's how I think I got rated like top 5 worst tasting pre-workouts. Not of like 2018, of history.
This is like every
Of all time of pre-workouts. I got like worst tasting, like the Orange Dream from back in the day. I shit on them fuckers, man. I made them look good. But my original manufacturer, we didn't really go for flavor. we went for effectiveness, and so now we had to switch that up. So now our stuff tastes very good, but the first edition, actually the second, was the strongest we ever made. And then TJ from Fitness Deal News, when he did a review, he said on the video, he goes, listen, this is the first pre-workout I've never been able to handle a full scoop of.
Shit.
So what we did, or what I did, is I made it stronger for the black edition.
750 milligrams of theanine, right?
Hey, make sure you get some ashwagandha in there too.
Listen, I got some rhodiola rosea. I got some ashwagandha. I got 6,000 milligrams of theanine. 10 grams of taurine.
You get some Phenibut in there, you know. Hey.
You got to bring it down a little. Yep.
You know.
No, the big question is, are you going kind of gray area on this? I mean, are you putting any of the borderline?
There's no DMAA.
Okay.
There's no DMHA.
Okay. Don't listen to him.
Listen,
I know. He's lying.
Everybody that knows me, I used to love the OG Jacked.
Oh yeah, we know.
Me and my little brother consumed more containers of that shit on a monthly basis than like most people in a year. We would go through 4 or 5 containers a month of the OG Jack a month. Okay.
It's like a multivitamin for you boys.
Yeah, I mean, my
sprinkle it on your chicken.
I felt bad for it because my dick like never worked. Because
Mr.
Softy. So it's like trying to have sex with a cooked noodle. It's like nothing's happening around here.
Demonetized.
Ever since I got away from DMAA because I wanted my dick to work, I'm not a huge fan of DMAA. I mean, it's still, if you can actually find real DMAA, which doesn't exist anymore. DMHA, I hate. I've always hated it. The last time I took it was last Christmas at the TNS Christmas party. And I'm not going to mention the company because I'm friends with the owner of the company. But I puked my fucking brains out the entire day. That's good. That's what happened at the end of that workout. I just for the rest.
What do you think was the last good one? Was it like 1-3 or was it Amp Citrate? Where do you think they really fell off?
Amp Citrate.
Amp Citrate was the shit.
Everybody that knows me knows how much I love Amp Citrate at a nice little 600 milligram dose, which is
man,
way too much for
me up.
We wonder why my heart stopped working in 2015. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. It could be all the fucking drugs. But Amp Citrate, I actually like Amp Citrate better than any other stimulant ever known to man. Amp Citrate was number 1.
Yeah, that was like when I really started. After that, I started getting away from like the real high stim stuff because I just felt like they weren't as effective and there was more side effects and weird shit that kept happening.
Yeah.
Defective neuritis.
Like DMHA, I mean, no offense to the guys that use it nowadays, but most of it's just not even real anyways. And they try to do, I use Juglins. And yeah, there's Juglins extract out there. I think the highest extract you can get is 10%. So even if you run, I mean, you see these guys 300, 400 milligrams of Juglins. The highest you can get is 10% DMHA extract. The highest.
If it is really even in there at all.
That shit's expensive as fuck. You're not paying for that. Trust me.
Nick, look, you ready? Now, was this your first Amp Citrate product? Because I got brand new containers in here. I could sell them on eBay for $200-$300. Still sealed from your favorite Centurion Labs.
Actually, no. I've never actually taken any Centurion Labs products ever.
Look at that. Back from the day, man. Look at that.
You probably have. Which one is that? The black. Nice. Yeah. See, that's racist too.
He won't let it go. He won't let it go now.
Yeah, but back then it was a different world when I bought this.
It was. Not everything was fucking black and white. Now it's
back then it was good times.
Racist. Listen, at my day job, if people if anybody heard the shit, because we got blacks, whites, Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, of course.
If anybody heard the shit that came out of our mouths, they would burn
forget about it
to the ground because we say the most racist shit to each other. From the time we walk in the morning, go home, we just say racist shit all day. And guess who gets offended? Nobody. Nobody gets offended.
Exactly.
You just talk shit, have fun. For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Just try to imagine Eddie Murphy trying to come back and do Delirious now.
They'd
On stage.
on the tree, bro.
That's it. They would go after him. There's no way.
But that's kind of the real difference with like real life versus like media life is that this shit happens every day. It's like people give each other hell, you know, for whatever makes us different. You know, we slam each other or whatever, and you do it in good fun, move on. You know what I mean?
I'm 42 years old. We grew up in a different time, but we listen, we talk shit to each other all day long.
All day long.
Back in the day, if we had a problem, we couldn't like text each other and be like, I'm gonna get ass. But I'm hiding behind my cell phone, so
yeah.
Hey,
know, I'll see you at the bus stop.
Yeah,
you know, at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Back in our day, you got your ass kicked in person because that you talk shit in person
in front of a crowd.
And they cheer you on too.
Yeah, the joke went too far. That's it. We're throwing hands. Game over.
Yep.
And that's the way it was. And guess what? I think I've lost 2 fights in my life, and I became friends with both of them afterwards. That's the way it was back in the day. Like it was.
You shook hands, and that's it.
Now, listen, you whooped my ass. Good for you, buddy. Fuck. You fucked me up, bro. Shit, I remember Mackenzie. Oh, this boy fucked me up, dude. He picked me, slammed. We got
Presumus is getting it.
I thought he slammed me through the fucking floor of the second story onto the first. That's how hard he slammed me on the fucking ground. I was like, oh shit, I ain't gonna fight. And then like 2 days later, we're hanging out.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Nowadays, everybody's fucking feelings are hurt, and they go in their little safe space and crawl with their fucking dicks up their asses.
Take it easy now. This is a family channel.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Hide your kids.
This is a broken family channel.
Oh yeah, that's we got to make a channel like that.
Speaking of Nick, that shirt you have on, is that coral?
Woo!
It's some form of red.
It's salmon.
It's a salmon. It's salmon with my girl says that shit. She does it on purpose. She says salmon. She pronounces the L.
Oh,
L.
no.
Yep.
I want to fucking beat her every time she does.
Hey, does she order espresso?
No, she just does salmon to piss me off because she knows how much it annoys me, and I'm like, but it's actually red, but it's a cotton polyester blend, so it doesn't look as red as red.
So it's pink. Okay, moving on, Sean. It's a pink shirt.
Pink one upstairs.
All right.
She actually yelled at me. She's like, "Why don't you wear the pink one? It's a summer color." And I'm like,
yeah. Well, speaking of Nick having to be a little submissive to his girlfriend there, Mr. Pink Shirt.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Listen. There's no dildos going up my butt.
Just a pinky. Just a pinky.
That first knuckle.
That's the pinky.
Listen, any guy who says they don't like a fucking finger in their butt's full of shit. Yo,
take it easy.
Hey, call me Mr. Constipated.
You will bust the biggest nut, bro. Oh, all over the place. I'm telling you.
Trying to get that G spot, that man G spot.
Listen, if you're ever clogged up and you can't bust a nut, pop a finger in like 10 seconds later, it's all over. It's done.
I just used to smoke a cigarette. I don't know about that. Back in the day. You know it's true. You hit a Newport back in the day when I was younger. I used to smoke. I remember you take a puff of a Newport. That's it. You ran to the bathroom.
Ran. I was talking about the nut from the front though. If you got to get that nut out of your butt, we got something to talk about after the show. You know what I mean?
Milking the prostate. Milking the prostate.
Milking the prostate, baby.
James, is your wife watching today?
I hope not.
She said, "Love you, honey."
I'll be like, I met that guy, and he seemed a lot nicer. He's a dirty little shithead. Don't talk to him anymore. Unfriend him on Instagram.
Yeah, our wives are going to be like, "Yeah, we can't hang out now."
No, your wife is going to call my girl and be like, "I'm sorry. Sorry, you got to trouble him."
Yeah. If you ever need a safe place to come.
The shit my girl has to put up with from me. I don't know.
She just put you in a headlock, I'm sure.
Listen, my girl's bigger than me, so she.
Well, we know she's gonna whoop that ass.
My girl can fuck up most dudes out there. Don't piss her off.
Hey, I see it now. Nick hops out of the car. What'd you say? Get him! Get him! Get him!
Stick him! Stick him!
If I get into a bar fight,
Yup.
I'm sending her.
Yup.
I'm sending her.
Yup.
She's taller than me. She's stronger than me.
Biceps bigger.
Her arms are not bigger than mine. We've had this. We've checked it out because she actually tried to claim her arms are bigger than mine. That's a little insulting. So we bust out the measuring tape.
So were they?
No. I had her a couple inches, but her legs are bigger than mine. Her legs are bigger than mine.
Crying about.
Is her penis?
Damn. Oh my God. So hey guys, what are things
Look, that's why she ain't getting that near me, bro. The fucking dildos this chick has. What do you need me for? What the
Sean,
fuck?
your channel is now turned into a sex channel.
This is Nick's
We're
Nick's
gonna
therapy session.
and blow dolls.
This screen right here. Things like, what do you need me for? What?
Holy shit.
What?
To hold her afterwards.
I'm losing this fight. Shit.
Let's talk supplements for 2 or 3 minutes here, and we can go back to the dirty side of this thing.
Who's got the nicest beard? Comment below.
Hey,
jealous of my pussy. I got a cute one.
So James, I'm going to share with you, James. Okay, the first contest that I put, it was 55-45, and you called flag on the play. I uploaded a new picture, and the next picture it was 75-25. So you shit yourself.
Caca.
What a scam!
Listen, it's the salt and pepper. That's what it is. It's the salt and pepper.
Whoa. Take it easy.
Listen, that's just that's a little salty there, buddy.
It's the Dos Equis, boy.
Oh God!
So for the supplement owners, okay, I want to talk a little bit about the whole Bomar controversy. You guys familiar with the whole Bomar thing?
Leave them alone. They're sweet family.
Okay, so I'm not to pick on them.
No, I know. I'm joking. I know.
But at the end of the day, from two supplement owners, whose ass is really on the line? Is it you, the brand, or is it the manufacturer? Who really is at fault for something like this?
Both,
yeah.
They hold the many. If I have a product that has supposed to have 25 grams of protein, and this is what I signed off for, this is what I paid you for, and then you ship it to me, and then I have it tested, and it's 24 grams of protein, technically you did not meet label claims, and you're liable for that entire run. You have to meet what you pay for. I don't remember.
But if you distribute it and you start selling it,
that's on you.
Unknowingly, you never test it, which, like we know is kind of uncommon. So you send it out, you get it in, you pre-sell it, whatever it goes, and then somebody else tests it or somebody else has some kind of adverse effect. Then they sue you as the company and you are liable. Now the manufacturer holds some liability and they can or cannot be pulled into that. You may have to start a separate claim or a separate suit with the manufacturer to have joint liability.
Yep. There was, we won't mention the company because I fucking hate them.
Come on.
Well, I don't want to give them credit for actually doing something right. But they had a run done, 20,000 units of pre-workout. And they switched, they were backed up. Their main manufacturer was backed up. So they switched to another brand that's actually down here. IQ Formulations is the company that ran it, which owns Metabolic Nutrition, same company. So they ran a product, 20,000 units, and they failed label claims left and right. And, they went after the brand for not paying. And the brand's like, we're not fucking paying for shit. We ordered this, and you gave us this. But all these numbers are wrong. And, they actually went after the brand for payment. And they're like, yeah, no, this is on you, buddy. When you manufacture, you have to meet what I ordered. If you don't meet what I order, it's on you, especially when it's tested beforehand. So the manufacturer, let's say they have $50,000 in raw materials that they use for this run, they're out of it. It's gone. And there's a reason that you have to manufacture and test it when you're manufacturing it a specific way. There's a whole process to it where, if you want to make sure, everybody always asks, well, how do we know that each scoop has the same amount of ingredients in each one? There's a process. It's a 3-step process in one of their machines where they have to match left, right, and top. And if they all match, then it's done right. But, when you almost double the caffeine content of a product.
Oh, hey.
It's a big
I know who you're talking about. So the other thing with the protein is most people assume that protein falls under a food category, but it's still a dietary supplement category. So labeling is different. You're not as strict of the standards that you have to be held to, because you see a lot of times it's still a supplement fact panel. It's technically not a nutrition panel, which means that they don't have to be accurate. They use a calculated macro ratio based off of inputs. And what we found is some of these guys are doing it wrong. Just flat ass, they don't have a good system. We've tested products and they've had extra carbs in them that, they weren't calculating. The cocoa lend some carbs in there, or this lend some carbs in there. And we know that our testing has found that in hundreds of different SKUs for this manufacturer. So they had to readjust their whole software. The other thing that happens, luckily, when we tested ours, the protein content was fine, pre, any of this other stuff. But it was like other brands, they may put in 25 grams of raw material, other manufacturers, right? But we all know protein is not 100%. So you're not going to get 100% yield. So out of that 25 grams, that may be 22.5 grams of actual usable protein.
Yep. So
if they don't understand that when they're calculating these things and putting them in, is they're underdosing products. And that's happened also.
I think NutraBio they were the first company where they actually put 28 grams of protein yielding 25.2 grams of protein.
Right. Yep.
And there's a net effect loss when you go through manufacturing, especially with protein, that manufacturers should understand.
You would think, right? This is what you do.
You would think this is your job.
You had one job.
You would think they would understand that. But no. Some of them just they're not the brightest. That's why.
Ultimately, I think it comes back to depending on the brand and the branding that they have. Like, I don't know a whole bunch about Bomar. I think that they try to be like an integrity brand. That's what they started out as. If you're gonna try to live here and say, hey, we're an honest brand, we're bringing you honest stuff. You can't let things like this happen, especially when you're that big and you've been around that long. I think that's just a complete lack of insight of what they're doing. I mean, they're giant company, lots of SKUs. They've been doing this for a long time, and to have this across this many products at this level, from what it sounds like, I think it's a lack of due diligence.
Yeah, and part of it, I don't know their whole situation, but they switched. Like, most of their protein issues that they had, I think is when when they switched manufacturers, and then whoever the new guy is now fixed the problem. I don't know, but it's when you're that big of a company, like Redcon, for instance, you think they don't test every product that they have before it goes out? Every product, every batch, every run. They do. When you're that big of a listen, when you get sued, 100 times a month, you don't need to get sued 200 times a month, because that extra 100 is stupid shit being lazy. And if you're a large brand, Bomar's a pretty big brand. You gotta cross your T's, dot your I's, and cover your ass. Because a cheap little class action lawsuit could cost you $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. So
yeah, that's on the lower end.
Yeah. What about in the case of, like, Eddie and I get this all the time, that the scooper sizes are wrong? Like the other day, I took a product and it was supposed to be 10-gram scooper, and it was 15 grams, which when you do the math, it would have been like 600 milligrams of caffeine. I mean, is it the same thing? Who's at fault of that? I mean, are you with the manufacturer supposed to check the scooper as well?
I went through that.
It's part of the product specs.
Yeah. I went through that in my last run. Eddie, you know. Yep. The last run of Immortal, I kept bitching at him like the scooper size is wrong. And they're like, oh, we'll get it fixed. All right. Do another run. Bro, the scooper it got worse. Okay, we'll get it fixed. So then they sent me, we went through our fucking 9-month fiasco of trying to get my purchase order. They sent me some sample containers to just have some. And I'm like, yo, the scooper size got even worse. This is what you were going to send me for product. The scooper size got even worse. Like I went from, it's a 14-gram serving, it was 13, and then 12, and now 10. Like you took the 14-gram scooper and then you put the round one in the bottom. When you take a square flat bottom and then you round it, you lose product. That's just how this works. It's like, you know, common sense. If you don't have all 4 corners anymore, you're losing space. Your cubic space is smaller. That's how this shit works. So I had to go back and be like, listen, it's a 14 fucking gram serving. Can you put a 14 fucking gram scooper in there? Please. I know you have one. Can you just put them in? That's all I needed to do. And they finally got it right.
You know how it is, Nick, that there's all these little variations because they're not really, per gram scoops. They're half cc or ounce or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
So there's different variations, but in your product spec, that should be clearly stated what scoop goes in there. Yeah. I was actually helping another company formulate and manufacture a really high stim, and they shipped us the product. Product gets into my guy, and I get a call. Hey, don't sell any of that. Okay, well, what's the problem? It's a 1 to 2 scoop serving. It's got 555 milligrams of caffeine plus other stims in it, and they put a 2 serving scoop in there. So like it's double the amount. You'll get over 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, and they were like,
"My people,
do not sell this. Do not sell this." Like,
how do I get that?
Hey, is that the one that had 80 milligrams of another ingredient? Yeah. That you'll fucking kill somebody. Yeah, if it's the formula I'm thinking of, like most people will end up in the hospital.
Yeah, it's like I was borderline like, why are we even doing this? But he wanted something that would compete with the gray area stuff, but know that it's made slightly safer,
Yeah, that's why that's the whole reason behind the black edition.
Yeah, exactly. It's like same concept of that. It's like more people are trying to get away from this dark energy and other bullshit that's out there, and something that you can at least say is made in a GMP facility.
Like Eddie, how many pre-workouts do you use nowadays that the scooper's not right? I feel like it's 90% of the scoopers are wrong nowadays.
Yeah, oh my God. That's why you see everybody now knows you have to weigh your
gotta weigh it.
You gotta weigh it out. Doesn't matter what pre-workout it is. I don't care even if it's a conventional daily driver from Max and Sledge. I don't care who it's from. Just weigh the fucking scooper because you don't know what the hell you're getting.
And sometimes, it's like 1 scoop or let's say a rounded scoop. So, you have that variance of a couple grams depending on how you actually scoop it.
Yeah, and it's not new. It's Blackstone when they had, I think it was
Dust
V2
or V2. Yeah,
I think it was their non-stim. One of them that they put the Scoopy in, and I called PJ and I'm like, bro, your Scoopy is less than half of a serving. Like literally, it's less than half of a serving, and they were paying. They're not.
And he can't tear a scale.
And it's one of those things where it's like, this has been going on forever, and luckily nowadays people are starting to realize, hey, just weigh your shit.
Yeah,
literally not weighing your shit nowadays could kill you, or will make the same effect.
So wait, those scoopers with that little scoopy lid on it, is that part of the overall weight of the whatchamacallit? The weight of the product?
The weight
one
of
with the snap lid that goes on top.
Yeah, steady. You know what I'm talking? Yes, the one with the cap on it.
You can turn it upside down, and then it turns into a scooper.
So you're supposed to fill that all the way to the top with it closed?
No, you can't. You can't.
No, you can't.
All right.
But the problem that they were running into is that the serving size was like 12 or 13 grams, and the Scoopy, when you filled it up, was 5. And
Yeah.
I told PJ, you got a problem, dude. Like,
Well, no, that's called staying safe.
like you're not even getting like half of the serving size of what's on the label, and it's like now in reverse. Now think about it. All right, let's say I send Eddie a product to try. Or I send Sean. I send anybody. I send it to a store, and I'm like, try my product. It's amazing. So they go, they take a scoop, and they base it on a scoop. Now, for Immortal X, it's dosed at a certain weight. Now, let's say you're getting 10 grams instead of the 14 gram serving. You're gonna be like, yeah, this kind of sucks. When in reality, you're missing almost a third of the product.
Right.
So, of course, it's gonna suck. You're expecting this, but you're getting here because you're missing a third of the serving. So it's like, nowadays everybody's getting smarter to just weigh your shit. Just weigh your shit.
Scale just come with the pre-workouts now, already built in, That's what we got to invent, Nick. A fucking scooper that goes in every pre-workout that actually has it built in, that it tells you the right.
No, I got it. You take the lid, and the lid is the scale.
There you go. Oh, man. Someone's going to come up with the idea. Now, fuck this. Let's get to work.
Trademark
Penny.
Yeah, copyright 2021 Impel Nutrition.
Good to go. Good to go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Solar powered.
Oh, yeah.
Like Alaska or some shit where there's never gets any sun for like half the year.
What is that?
So Eddie, Lewis, I think his name's Lewis, Mr. Remix Everything on Instagram.
Oh, that's my boy. He stops by the store. Loves stims. I give him samples all the time.
So I guess we'll go around a little bit. How did Eddie and Nick meet? How did you guys meet each other?
Good question.
Immortal X.
Who?
Immortal.
Was it? Wait a minute. No. Wait. Wait.
Was it
Nick
before?
was a subscriber of my channel and used to watch my shit and comment.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, and then we would go back and forth, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. He thinks like me. He's fucked up in the head. So then we go back and forth, and then that's when I guess we started talking about some things where I think he messaged me about something I said in a video. I don't know if it was about my dick or
something about your penis. I love penis stuff.
Something was going on, and I might need TRT, and he was like, listen, bro, this is how you fix this shit. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I messaged Nick the last time I had hives all over my body. I was taking pictures. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong? I'm dying. He's like, no, those are hives, bitch. You got to go to get Benadryl. So I think Nick saved me a few times with my dick and with this. When I got bit by a spider. So for anybody who doesn't know, when you get bit by a spider, if you're allergic, what happens is this thing traveled up to my dick, my chest. I whipped it out in front of my wife, and I was like, yo, what the hell is this? Automatically, she's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, listen, it's not what you think. Look, it's all over my body. She's like, what is that? So I was like, I said, I got to ask somebody. So I asked Nick. He's like, bro, no, something either.
I got to ask somebody, so I go to Nick at Rage.
So here's a
tip. I got a little bit of medical experience prior to something.
If you need help, you message Nick. But here's a tip to the world. If you ever get hives, remember, this is the trick. Do not take a hot shower. If you take a hot shower and you have hives, it makes them come out more, just like herpes. Don't fuck with it because it's going to keep spreading. So what happens is when you put hot water on hives, you think something's wrong. It flares up even more. So you have to take a cold shower to make the swelling shrink. And I didn't know that till I found a girl on YouTube who said, no, hot water makes it worse. Put yourself either in an ice bath or a cold shower and watch. It disappears. She was right. I couldn't believe it. So a little tip.
Eddie, it makes sense. I mean, anything you do that, hot is going to make blood flow more. So if you have some kind of skin irritation.
Well, you don't know it because you like taking warm showers and then you don't think about it. And you're like, what the hell's happening? These hives are flaring up. And you're fucking scratching like a dog behind your ear. You're like, oh my God, it's driving me fucking nuts.
Like a beta alanine tingle?
Worse. Oh my God, especially it's on your wiener and these open hives are popping with some kind of jelly popping. I'm like, what is this? Oh my God. And then I called Dr. Shaheen, my doctor, and I'm like, yo, I got to stop by. He's like, oh, I'm out for 2 weeks. I'm sick. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I got to show you this dick. It looks scary.
My dick's leaking from the side, bro.
Yeah, it's fucking oozing and it's not in a good way. It's like, oh my God, I was so scared for my life. I've never had that before, but yeah, it was a spider bite.
I told you.
Yeah, spider bite.
With them bitches in the morning outside the bar. That's what happens.
Yeah, I wish. Oh man.
Arachnid gonorrheas.
Holy shit, man.
Oh man.
And Nick, I think I met you from David Engel, because I think he was posting stuff and he reached out to me and said, hey, you need to get Nick on the show. And you and I did the shows when you were calling in. I wasn't doing videos yet. So you were calling in a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then you introduced me to Uncle Eddie. And then with James, Will from Power said you need to get James on. And I know Snoop always said some good things about you, and kind of that's the long and short of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Nick and I kind of connected.
Yep. And we actually we met for the first time up in South Carolina, in TNS. And then where was I?
He's shutting down.
He doesn't know where he was at.
He needs pre-workout. Somebody quick.
And then listen, if you got dick problems, call me. I got you.
Yo, pass that fucking Cialis, bitch.
I got bottles of that shit, bro. Trust me.
I don't got any more.
I got Cialis, I got Viagra, knockoff, pharmaceutical, you name it.
Yeah, man, he's like a pharmacy.
Gotta make sure the dingy works, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. 1-800-STIM-DICK. I love it. Let's call right now. Everybody, let's get on a four-way.
But yeah, we were actually, me and my girl were driving back we were in Savannah. We were leaving Savannah, Georgia, and we stopped. I always go to this place, Chewy's, in Orlando.
Oh.
That sounds kinky.
And
it's a Mexican joint, like fresh tortillas. I mean, primo.
So I'm pulling up to the front, and this fucking guy just standing out there with his family. I'm like, what a small world.
Hey, so we're sitting there, and this car comes by real slow with the tent, and I look, and all I can kind of see is just this, and I had this feeling. I'm like, is that fucking Nick? I'm like, no way. No, like, because he usually is in like Southern Florida. I'm like, this would be super random. And then like 2 seconds later, he parks, hops out. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Small world. Small world. You know, it's a very large industry, but it's a very small industry at the same time.
Yeah, for real.
Now, wait, does anybody know if the Arnold is actually going to go on this year?
I think they're doing the show, but not the expo is kind of the way that I heard it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Show October, I think, or September.
Yeah.
Well, maybe October after Olympia, I think.
Hold on, I've got it in my calendar. Let me see.
Yeah, the Olympia,
the Olympia is October 7th.
Yeah. Flex is not.
Arnold is the 25th of September, I think. That's what I got.
Is Olympia officially in Florida now? No more Vegas, or is that just a temporary layover?
Orlando this year.
Yeah, so
last year too.
We were actually looking at getting a booth. Tim come by the show at Europa, talk to us about it. But it sounds like they're going to do it this year. But if the whole COVID thing eases up, they'll go back to Vegas next year if they can.
Vegas is.
I think attendance is different in Orlando. You know, I mean, it's not as big of an attraction to go.
No.
But it seems like it's declining though.
Poor Flex, he opens up a gym out there in Vegas, and right after he opens the gym, they move the Olympia down here to Florida.
Oh,
that's messed up.
Yeah, he's not doing the show this year. So,
Nick, and he's your boy. He's your golden child. I think you're the one who keeps saying he's the next though. You've been saying that for years.
Yeah, if he gets on stage, he will win. But I was talking to him last week, and next year he'll be on stage. This year he's working on expanding the family. Next year, because people don't realize when he went to Colombia to do his knee, elbow, and shoulder, you know, I mean, you know what happens with guys that work out. They, you know, lose a little bit of size here and there, and you know, that's what happens when you take 6 months off. You know, when the last year he competed and won the 212, he could have won the Open. He could have won the Open that year. For him, I would say he'll probably go on stage in the Open 240s, low 240s, high 230s.
What is he, 5'4"? Like 5'4"-ish?
5'4", 5'5", yeah. He's a little shorter than me. And he will shit on everybody on stage. If he goes on stage in the high 230s, low 240s, the way he does it, the way he looks at 212, he will shit on everybody. You know, but you know, priorities. You know, he's getting up there in age. He's not old, but he's getting up there in age. You know, your family, you don't want to be having kids in your 40s. I'm 42. I don't want to be having fucking kids right now. You know.
Hey, I'm gonna be done at 42.
That's what I'm saying.
Free and clear, baby.
You know, so he's working on expanding his family, doing that while he's still younger. Get that taken care of. The O's always going to be there. He's always going to be a massive son of a bitch. So when he does finally step on stage, which will probably be next year, as long as he stays injury free, he's going to shit on a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of people. People have no idea what this fucking, like, you don't realize what he looks like. You see pictures of him, but when you're standing next to him, you're like, oh, fuck. You know, like at 210 pounds, 212 pounds, he makes you look like you're this big.
His forearm's bigger than most people's bicep.
Yeah. Oh, his forearm size of most people's quads. It's and yeah, he has the greatest forearms in the history of bodybuilding. Like, those things are just
imagine how he works them. I mean, he's got to put a lot of reps in.
Oh, he is a volume monster. You know, and that part's good. That part's good.
But how would you score him next to Ramy, though?
He will shit on Ramy. Listen,
Ramy's ugly. I can't stand his physique.
Fucked up. Ramy!
If you had taken Flex the last year he competed at 212, which people don't realize, like, he was spilling over at this point. His body, like, when you're shoving 100 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, not 20 pounds of shit in a 5-pound, 100 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, to the point where this guy can't grow anymore. He literally cannot grow his body and make weight anymore. That's the problem he was running into.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
He took 212 to as far as 212 can be taken. You cannot put anything else in there. Hence why he's going open. But when he won his last show at 212 and the year before that, he would shit. If he looked like that, but again, 230, low 240s, he will shit on Big Ramy like there's no tomorrow. You know, it's
but
like,
you know how that goes. Is like that he may not look the same, because he doesn't have the skinniest waist. So as long as he can keep
Phil wins like the low 240s. Phil goes on stage at like 245, I think, something like that. You know, Big Ramy's the only guy that goes on there fucking 300. Listen, he needs to stop going on stage at 310 pounds. He needs to be in the high 280s, mid to high 280s.
Right.
That's where he needs to be condition wise to win. Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking monster, but just because you're a monster, Dallas Miss Carver was 340 pounds in his offseason. He was low threes going on stage. Just because you're big don't mean you're going to win.
Right, exactly. But now, what do you think about Nick Walker?
Nicky,
motherfucker.
He's big.
That's a big bitch. That boy is
fucking big.
Like, you know, you look.
I need to figure out what chicken he's eating. Damn.
Oh, he's eating the farm. He's not eating
exactly
the farm of chickens. That's
the grass-fed way.
He's gonna destroy some people.
Hey, that's all that MRE light.
In time. Who's he with now? Because he left.
MRE light.
Who's he with now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, he's with Revive now. He's with Revive.
So we had a couple of questions come in. Actually, believe it or not, people said some stuff. Eddie, we'll throw this to you. We'll get the guys around. Do the consumers use the term clinically dosed too much?
Yeah, because none of them know what the fuck they're talking about 90% of the time. They just hear it from somebody else and they're like, oh, it's clinically dosed. It's not clinically dosed. You even know what the fuck you're talking about?
Yeah. How many of them have actually read a clinical trial and can understand, you know, the significant difference between certain p-values and that statistical ratio? They don't know. They don't know any of that shit. So they just heard one guy say it's 3.2 grams, and that's the clinical dose. But I can find studies that show 2 grams was the clinical dose for that study. Yeah. It's not a standardized clinical dose. It's if you're using label claims for something and you want to say, hey, it's a 18% increase in XYZ, then that is the clinical dose for that label claim.
Yeah. And the clinical dose that everybody gets the 3.2 grams from was actually a split dose.
That's the one that goes up to like 6.4
grams. But it was 800 milligrams per dose. It was 4 doses of 800 milligrams. That was the clinical dose. It was 800 milligrams, 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, which got you to 3.2 grams. Yeah, if you can actually like take a scientific study and tell me what the fuck it means, then you can use the term clinical dose, but you can't. So you shouldn't. And the thing with this is what people don't realize in science. If I have, okay, we'll take S7 for instance, because I hate this fucking ingredient, right? No 50 milligram dose of anything is going to give you a pump. Sorry. So if I own a product, I own an ingredient, and we're going science now, I can do exactly what I need to do to manipulate the outcome to get the clinical dose or the scientific data that I need to show that this shit works. That's how science works. I can do it my way. That's why anytime you look at a clinical study, look at who paid for it. Because he who paid for it usually
Is he himself?
it's his product. If you take an independent, unbiased study, like an independent researcher that pays for it, then you'll get your real answer. But you can manipulate any study to get any answer you want. It's just depending on the what you throw at it. It's complex.
And I mean, that's a good point, is a lot of people don't look at how the experiment is actually set up.
Yeah.
They don't, oh, well, it's 3 different doses. So, I mean, is 800 fine in a pre-workout? These are all inferences that people make. And, that's where science has that kind of gray area.
It's like caffeine. Everybody says, 300 milligrams is the most you should take in a day, or especially in one serving, or 500 milligrams, you're going to kill somebody. Well, there's actually a scientific study done independently that proved that 900 milligrams of caffeine given to athletes, because there's a determining factor here where you need to be fucking healthy before you do the shit. 900 milligrams of caffeine in one serving actually had an increase in athletic output.
Correct.
One serving, 900 milligrams of caffeine. It actually was shown to be beneficial.
But see, that goes back to what you said. It's trained versus untrained individuals, and you can manipulate the statistics that way by using the wrong data set. If you take 10 people off the street that have never bench pressed in their life, and then you're like, hey, I gave them 50 milligrams of S7 and their bench went up in 4 weeks of, resistance training. Well, it should have, because they were untrained.
That's how the cookie crumbles. And people, it's not about just, like you said, it's not about just reading the study and going all the way to the bottom to the conclusion. You got to read everything in between, especially. I'm having a brain fart on the terminology that they use.
Nick didn't take his lion's mane today.
Especially what the fuck word am I thinking about here? Holy shit. That's what happens when you turn 42. You start forgetting shit.
Hey, bitch, me and Eddie have a bigger milestone next year, so back the fuck up.
I'm surprised you remembered to dial in at your age.
He's got one of them jitterbug computers that it's like,
I was like, don't forget, Sean, we have a show today. He's like, what? What time?
Listen, my dad don't even know how to hang up a cell phone. He don't even know you can hang up a cell phone. But
holy shit.
The word will come back to me. But when you're going through any sort of study, there's certain the brain is not working today.
Time for your TRT shot.
That's tomorrow. Today's Sunday. That's today.
I'm jealous.
That is today.
Oh God.
It'll come back. It'll pop in my head eventually.
You got our phone numbers. You could call us later.
Just text us later. Yeah.
Yeah. There's certain data that you have to look at when you're going through a study and the way you set up the experiment, and you have to go through all of that, and you have to understand why they're doing this way to try to achieve this. And you can manipulate anything you want with science. It just depends on who's paying for it.
Then what about the bigger picture sometimes with doing synergistic clinical trials? Like you've got the citrulline and the agnatine and arginine. I mean, nobody does anything synergistically, so how do we fucking know?
Well, actually, they do. It's like if you look at Vasopeak X, I run 4 grams of citrulline and I run 4 grams of arginine together. Because arginine by itself is a pile of dog shit. And anytime a pre-workout just has arginine by itself in it, This
isn't 2003, Nick. Nobody's doing that.
It's garbage. Right? No, actually, there are companies, sadly, that still do that. But it's the same thing as citrulline by itself. But there's actually, I think the most recent study was like 2017 or 2018, where it was citrulline and arginine together, and the output of nitric oxide was actually significantly higher than, obviously, arginine by itself or citrulline by itself. You know, there's a reason why in VasoPeak X, it's actually both in there. It's not just because I wanted to put an extra 4 grams of something that I think is garbage on its own, but synergistically together, it works wonders. Which anybody who's taken it can attest to how well VasoPeak X works.
What's that
hard?
Synergistic thing is, you know, that's a lot of anecdotal evidence because, like you said, there's not many people putting studies together to do both because, like we were saying, setting up the experiment and having enough data to make a hypothesis or whatever, you know, let's not go too far, but it's complicated enough with one ingredient to try to do that with 2 ingredients. And let's say that they're newer ingredients where like citrulline and arginine, they each have tons of studies on them individually. So now you have the data to be able to put them together and make a decent claim. But if you were to take like S7 and like no level or something like that, like those are 2 relatively newer ingredients that have 1, maybe 2 studies a piece. And I could put that together to make it say almost anything.
Yeah. You know, and it's when I was in college, you know, I did my major was exercise science, and our grad students, you know, they're over here, they're doing experiments, and, you know, they have their studies that they have to do to get their master's degree and shit. People do not realize the cost and the time that's involved just to do. If you just want to see if 20 grams of protein and 20 grams of carbs post-workout is better than 20 grams of protein by itself, how much money that fucking costs and how much time is involved just to figure that little piece of information out, because you have to find participants. Each participant has to be given a very specific regimen as far as their diet, their training, their exercise. They have to come in. You have to see them however many times a day. You know, you have to, you basically have to, like, to get it properly done, you got to babysit these people. You know, you have to do everything except wipe their ass when they're taking a shit. And then all the equipment, the cost of all the equipment, you're running test over test over test over test over test just to find out what we already know. And it's expensive. And it is very time consuming. And we're talking months to get the proper answer.
Yeah. And then you're months to get it published after that in a decent journal to actually make it peer reviewed and all these other steps.
Yeah. And to get a published peer review study, but years sometimes, you know, and it's.
And then that's another thing, the peer review thing, that's a whole nother kind of shit show where things can go left field again.
Yes. You know, and people, they don't realize this shit, but like you said, you know, they hear the word, you know, they all of a sudden, you know, they think they know what they're talking about, but listen, I'll see you formulating no fucking products. I just see you taking it. So do you really know what you're talking about? I love whenever I see a product that somebody, whoever it is, they'll post a new product that they're going to review and everybody just chimes in. You know, like they're formulators and shit. And I'm like, yep, if you're so smart, make your own product.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
You know, everybody, it's like when VasoPeak X dropped, you know, people looked at the formula and they were like, yeah, you know, it don't look that crazy. As far as pumps go, take it. I will put it up against anything that doesn't have nitrates in it. And I promise you it will hold its own. And I promise you your dick will get hard when you're done. You know?
Sign me up.
I mean, we don't have nitrates, but we got nitrates. What's up?
You know what I'm saying? Don't say that. Don't say that.
Hey, he can bring it.
I already told Lloyd once.
So Eddie, speaking of education, like the way these guys are dropping, being a store owner, do you think your clientele is more educated, or is it still, hey, my buddy said I need to come in because of XYZ?
Yeah, I saw Derek, more plates, more dates. I'm here for some gorilla mode. It's like, come on, man, stop. It's so sad because social media just has such a, well, influencers. I mean, they just say X this or X that, and they're coming into the store. I heard X this, said that, this, that, and I'm like, oh man, whatever. I just like listen, whatever. But yeah, most people are very easily manipulated. So to believe in anything, it doesn't matter what you sell.
Yeah,
like I said, look, the pet rock made $5 million. It's like, so yeah, you basically can put a shit in a box and tell someone, hey, this is gonna fucking bring you gains. And people are like, oh my god, I gotta get it because testosterone is in the shit. So it's like, that's all you gotta do.
Product compared to beta exterol. I'm just saying. But yeah, I forgot. What was it? Gorilla.
Here we go.
That some guy.
He needs this ginkgo biloba.
Some guy on TikTok like pretending like he owned the company or some shit. The Gorilla thing. Yeah. He sold the shit out of this pre-workout for a company he doesn't even own. He's not even an athlete of theirs. I guess he liked the product or some shit, bro.
Yeah.
Selling that shit left and right.
It's crazy.
Probably an affiliate.
It's amazing what having a strong social media influence can do.
Oh, hell yeah. True. Yeah.
Just get out there, building that network.
Yeah, man. That's one thing I could say. I'm not giving him any props or anything or shout outs, but Derek, more plates, more dates. Him and Greg Doucette, they both have figured out that branding is on point, man, for making them a fortune.
Yeah. And some of the
I'll do it.
Devin Physique, we don't give him credit because he photoshopped everything. But if you didn't Photoshop your way into famousness, then you did good, bro.
Have you guys been following the fun between Doucette and O'Hearn? You've seen any of those videos?
Oh, no, but Mr. El Natural my whole life. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, stem cells are natural.
Come on, natty for life, man. Hashtag.
Stem cells, TRT.
Kids for crying out loud talking about it's unnatural. Bitch, you were on steroids since you was a kid. Look at you when you were you were massive, you motherfucker. Listen, nobody at 50-something years old looks like that. I don't give a shit how hard your fucking diet is. You are massive.
Come on, Nick, man. Come on.
Nothing natty about him, bro. Pull his testicles. When he was a kid and pull him now. Trust me. He's on drugs.
Holy shit.
But telling people you're natty sells certain things more than telling you're on drugs.
I don't know. It worked for Boston Lloyd.
Hell yeah. Still
he ended up
for Rich.
What do you get, 3 years for that shit? But he made a fortune though. But Team 3CC. But
that.
it's just one of those things. I just laugh. It's like bodybuilders talking about, oh, I'm natural. Bitch, you're a bodybuilder. You're not natural. Those chicks that are on stage. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You're fucking. You got same size pieces. Shut the fuck up.
Pete nailed it. What do you think about deer antler velvet?
I got some shit that I can put in a bag and sell you and tell you it's like high protein.
The bag of shit I just told you about.
Listen, Bucked Up, they made a lot of money.
Oh my god!
How?
They took
projecting
deer antler.
Yeah.
Dash Labs, deer antler.
Dumbass shit.
Told everybody that
yo, Bucked Up, if you're watching, don't listen to Sean. He loves you.
Listen,
yeah, you're not getting free product for your reviews anymore.
Exactly. We're fucked now. Damn it.
Turn around and tell people that deer antler is God's like next greatest fucking thing in the world. And next thing you know, you sell very overpriced shit dosed products. And people buy it because it has deer antler extract in it. It's garbage.
And it's not even clinically dosed.
If you go buy clinical doses that are out there in the world, I don't think they make one fucking product that's clinically dosed. But
no, fuck no, underdosed.
They know how to. Their affiliate program is top notch, and
fuck yeah,
they make a fortune. Trust me.
Yeah, that ambassador affiliate thing is. That seems to be the key to some of these things. That they just brand the fuck out of it, and what really gets me is like some of these have like prescribed payments that you have to make every month to be part of that program. You got to spend X amount with them. So really, you're just like tying in your customers. You're not even like it's not about how many coupons they use. It's like okay, you have to buy 300 now. You have to buy 300 now. You have to buy 300, and shit, we're set. I don't have to even be in a store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
True
I mean,
that.
it's like, all right, let's take Redcon, for example. They have
Your
more
buddies.
than 10,000.
You got a friend in me.
Go drive down the street. They have more than 10,000 tier operators. That's what they're called. Yeah, tier operators. Let's just call it 10,000. They have more. We'll call it 10,000. Could you imagine if each one of them only bought one pre-workout a month?
Yeah.
So they
$12.
$12?
well, they sell it at 40. You give
They buy it for $1.50.
everybody
It comes with a free shirt.
30% off. So let's say they're paying $25 each, right?
Here comes the hard math.
I know how much it cost them to make it. You will profit over $150,000 per month. Profit. If each one of your 10,000 tier operators bought one pre-workout for $25 a piece, your profit will be over, trust me, over $150,000 per month.
Hey, Nick, you want to be a Impel operator?
I got you.
Start the affiliate program, Nikki. Come on, you can run it for him.
Hey, you know what? You could be the top tier. Okay, I will hook you up.
It's gonna be a pyramid zone. He's at the top.
Listen, a free shirt, a free shaker, and my own 35% off code. And then we
Yeah,
Well,
got you. I got
Yo,
you. It's
but
in the
Nick-
mail.
Nick, you know who has it going for him? And I hope he ain't watching. He knows I love you, Andy Frisella from First Form. He's got it on point. I think Andy Frisella's ambassadors alone, I think, bring in the company over $50 million a year. Just in the ambassadors. That's not including everything.
Dude's rocking 150, 200 million a year in sales.
Easy.
Them and Redcon are battling for who's going to crack 250 million a year first.
Yep.
Their products, 90% suck. Their products, I ain't gonna lie, their products kind of suck.
Total War?
Who are we talking about again?
Total War?
First Form and Total War sucks too. Actually, everything they make sucks. But with First Form, most of their products suck. I mean, I would take their pre-workout. I'd laugh at it. So I think C4 makes a better product for a pre-workout than they do. But they built a cult around
the brand.
It's not even about the formulas as far as First Form is concerned. Fuck the formulas. Their formulas suck. It's not about the formulas. They built a brand that the masses have drawn into. So he can literally sell frozen shit on a stick. It wouldn't matter. They would buy it because the brand has built a base that it'll never topple. I mean, listen, we all wish we could do that shit. He did it right. He did it right. And at least he's not a lying fucking shitbag.
Yep.
Like some people I know. I met Andy back in 2013 or 2014 here. One of the nicest, most humble dudes I ever met. But do I like their products? Fuck no. But the culture that he built, trust me, we all wish we could do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is you build brand loyalty, which in an industry where there's almost none, I mean, that is probably the most impressive thing that has happened in the industry in the last 5 years.
And he did it totally different. Redcon, they built theirs by sales. Do
you think that's loyalty? That's what I have to ask, is do you think they have any loyalty? Let's say the things that are going to happen in October blow up, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I've been waiting for that day.
So that hits mainstream. How many tier operators you think stick around?
See, the thing with them, my Instagram feed, I watch a story, get an ad, watch a story, get an ad, go through my feed, post, ad, post, ad. Literally every fucking ad is Redcon 1. And, it's one of these things where their company, Redcon is built on ads.
Right.
They're built on free shit, discounts. First Form is built on a culture.
Yep.
You have two massive conglomerates that were built completely different. And the way Andy did it is the right way. The way Singerman did it is the wrong way. Because if you take away those ads, guess what? You'll have a fucking bit. If you take away his buy one and get a free Mercedes, then he runs on a every 2 hour basis.
Listen, it's 2 hours only. You pick which 2 hours you want to shop.
Yeah, because at 2 hours, I've seen the same ad for fucking weeks straight every 5 minutes. And, they're built on impressions. That's what Raycon is built on. It's built on impressions, discounts, sales, and free shit. You take that away, you don't have a company anymore. First Form, you can stop selling product. Literally stop selling product, and you still have a company. So there's the right way to build something, then there's the wrong way to build something, because Andy built an actual culture.
Right? Yep.
I mean, it's practically like the Nike of supplements.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And you may not even take a First Form product, but you're going to buy a First Form shirt because you want to be in that kind of culture or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they took over CrossFit.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things. Like, he did it. And he's a very humble, even in person. Like, Andy is a very humble, respectful human being. Like, if you ever played an instrument, like you ever played anything with an amp or guitar, you've heard of the company PV, Peavey.
Yep.
So I just went to his house the other day, Hartley. Dude has a $21 million house on the beach. He drives a 10-year-old Toyota RAV4. Like, he's the most humble multi-millionaire I think you'll probably ever meet in your life. You would look at this guy in the street and you would think he's like half homeless. Like, seriously. You would not realize who this guy is. You would have no clue that this guy has more money in his pocket than you probably made in the last fucking 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy's the same way. He's a very humble human being. Very humble. And
I have to say the same thing about Andy too. Is one of my buddies here locally was like in the whole Legion thing and started taking our products, and he actually like hit Andy up and gave him my information, and Andy reached out and we had a little back and forth. And I mean, this was like 6-8 months ago. So when we were even smaller and even less known than we are now. And he was like, yeah, hey, keep doing your thing. And, maybe we can get you in the supplement warehouse store super thing.
Yeah. That's what it says. He's got like 20 or something stores.
And I thought that was like, damn, wow. I mean,
yeah.
He's like, when I met him, he was rocking a fucking t-shirt, got his hat on. I mean, you notice this giant F650, whatever it was that was parked outside.
Yeah.
You can't miss that thing because, I mean, it's kind of big. But outside of that, you would never know. You would never know.
Yeah.
It's just like.
And he's got a good mentality, I think, to hold it together with all that shit around. So, definitely solid.
Yeah. I mean, the struggles he went through to get that thing where it is, it's like, it either makes you or breaks you. And, some people, and then other people, Singerman. We'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Here's a question for the group. Back in the 90s and 2000s, that all the giants, the VPXs, the BSNs, all the big boys, and now it seems like all the big boys have fallen to the wayside. Like you just said, there's two big companies, but there's no more giants. It's all the small people. Where have all the big boys went?
Well, BSN is still, Glanbia owns BSN. Glanbia is a $5 billion a year protein company. They ain't going anywhere. BSN, they pay $300? No, BSN they paid $180 million for. But they're still in all the big chains, Vitamin Shop, GNC, the Walmarts, all the big box stores. They're still in. And people still buy their products because they
remember from 20 years ago.
Yeah. You can get 5 pounds of protein for less than you can get 2 pounds of protein from a small company. And, it's one of those situations they're huge international. International, they're huge. If VPX was bankrupt, the only reason, there's some illegal stuff that happened to keep VPX around, but now it's Bang. They have Bang. So that's their
you look at like Gasperi, you look at I know Nutrex is upside down, but I don't think there's any big companies anymore.
MHP.
MHP BPI is supposed to be out of business. I don't know how they're still around. They're trying to like O'Hearn and see it for the last hurrah, but that company's basically bankrupt. MHP, go to South America.
Yeah.
Huge, fucking huge. They own all of South America. MHP is numero uno in every South America.
I think Latin America, kind of the India markets, that's where a lot of the legacy brands are still crushing it because, like the US, we've got all this internal competition, but for guys like Nick and I to make it competitive to ship to, Latin America or India, I mean, the leverage that it takes to get over there, the regulatory things, some of the ingredient, all that other that bullshit. I mean, they can do all that. They can ship a whole container over there, and they've got the overhead for it. They've got the manpower to navigate all those things. So all those uncharted territories, they're out there just crushing, taking full market because there's just people who can't get in there. So
and most of them have their own manufacturing plants in other countries anyway. So
hey, logistically, it's easier.
They're always going to be around. They might not be here where they have any sort of relevance, but they're all it's like Muscle Tech. I think they did like 17 rebrands this year. They're an Amazon company now.
Oh,
yeah. But it's one of those things where those big boys will always be around because, except for maybe BPI because they're not owned by anybody, but all the other big guys, they're not going anywhere because Olympia is the largest protein producer in the world. They ain't going nowhere. Fuck.
Yeah, and as long as the general consumer doesn't know shit about supplements, then you can build whatever kind of product you want. And if you have the market space and you have the perfect shelving and marketing, I mean, you're going to get sales. They have placement. And so you got that level of placement, you could never go away.
Yeah. They'll always be around. They won't be relevant, but they'll always be around.
Correct.
Sure. I mean, Eddie, when you look at you, Eddie, the store owner, what are you pushing more of? I mean, when I walked in your store, I didn't see a huge like one of the bigger companies I saw was
Impel
Allmax.
Nutrition.
They're big.
That's what we push.
Motherfucker. throwing in that plug, huh?
No, but seriously, Eddie, everything you move is all smaller, like the smaller brands, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, all the smaller brands because most of the bigger brands, nobody uses them because they don't work. I'm being honest. Most of the products that used to be good for most of the bigger brands at one time have been reformulated. How many fucking times? Then they reform it because they want to get into the Walmarts, the vitamin shops, the GNCs. Now it don't work the same. Then nobody buys it. So it sits there like Total War. Same thing. At one point was on point. Now, not on point.
Their OG formula, the first formula they came out with Total War.
First one. My favorite.
That bitch would smack you in the fucking face.
It was the DMHA formula. Yep.
Yeah. They had DMHA. They had octopamine. They had a high dose of caffeine. That bitch would fuck you up. It was good.
Now it's just caffeine and fucking L-theanine. So it's like, come on, man. You can't do
Here's
that.
a word of advice.
Does it have some like juniper berry in there too? Like,
I got dick berries for you, bro. Nobody even knows what it is, but just because it's a different name, But this is when you know your formula sucks. If you ever want to know if your formula sucks, send it to the quality control department of Walmart because you got approved to sell there. And when they say you don't have to change anything, your formula sucks.
Amen.
Damn.
There you go. That's all you got to do.
If your formula can make it onto a Walmart shelf without changing anything, including the caffeine content, you sell shit in a tub.
Yep.
And that's the end of the story.
And
6-star.
I think with what Eddie's saying is I hear that from a lot of the retailers that I talk to is, hey, yeah, we'll bring you in as soon as we can move some of these SKUs that aren't moving anymore. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, for me, I just want to know. I'm like, okay, what is it? And I mean, you guys have mentioned the name like 100 times. I mean, that product is stale.
Yeah. Yep. And people, I mean, there's consumers that, their stores, they still carry it. I mean, I know one of their sales guys did $1 million in 1 month. $1 million in 1 month in sales.
Wow.
Damn.
Now think about it this way. You have the largest ad running company in the history of supplements. You run more fucking sales than I have pubic hairs because I don't know.
Talking face or below the belt?
We actually got to go with you run more sales than I have beard hairs. We'll go with that one. That one will work. You're in every big box store known to man. Retailers hate your guts because of all the sales and shit you do. Because as a consumer, I can buy product for cheaper than they can. But you had a salesman that still hit $1 million in 1 month because sadly, people still ask for it.
Bercuzzi? What?
You're an ass.
No, not Bercuzzi. He was only with Raycon for 7 days. Where's he now? Oh yeah, I know.
You made him out again. Damn you.
He's got a couple companies, right? That he messes with.
He's with the motherfuckers. What do they call themselves? Muscle Force.
Motherfuckers.
Well, no, that's their affiliate program, MFers.
Oh.
I mean, they're not going to call themselves muscle forcers. That just sounds weird. Call them motherfuckers, MFers. Yeah, I think he's with them now. But you know, it's one of these. It's just one of these days where it's like, no matter how bad their products are, they still have to keep it on their shelves until they can transition all their customers onto something that's actually worth of shit. You know, because I mean, C4 makes better products now than they do as far as their pre-workout goes. I mean, their pump formula, it's got, I think, 1 pump ingredient, if that. I think it's laughable. Laughable. Actually, I want to pull that shit up. I want to see. Because I remember laughing at that formula before. So I'm going to look at it.
Well, it's funny because, you know, most of you guys know I do a lot of traveling and we do like a lot of bodybuilding events and different gym events. And so I talk to people all the time. And, you know, our pump product is kind of like better than Nick's, but, you know, it's super loaded. He's not even
we can fight about that one.
Yeah, he's not even listening.
I heard you.
But, you know, as having a loaded pump product, and then people are like, oh, well, I take the big noise. And it's like, okay, well, you want to look at the labels? It's like, nah, you know, I mean, why do you buy it? Well, it's always on sale. It's like, okay, well, I can't compete with it's always on sale as the only motto you have. And people know that they're not getting the best product. I mean, most of them, you know, they know that going in. There are some that just go, hey, this is the best company in the world. I'm a tier operator. You know, my brother's a tier operator. My mom's cousin's little sister is a tier operator.
All right, let's take a look at their pump formula because, you know, this is a $39.99 pump formula. Okay. God, this is bad. So you get, I should have my glasses on.
Hey, can you just put it?
What are
Put
you
it
looking
up
at,
here.
brother?
I'll read it. You know.
There we go. Yep, that's what happens. You know.
What a nerd! Look at this fucking nerd.
So mean.
Old ass.
So we got 2,500 milligrams of betaine, 500 milligrams of acetyl L-carnitine, 200 milligrams of Citrate, 100 milligrams of L-theanine.
Ugh. What? Why would you have theanine in a pump product? I'm so confused.
Grams of
It's non-stem.
You don't explode too quick. You don't grow too quick.
Fuck. Sorry.
And then
Continue.
we have choline bitartrate and pink Himalayan sea salt. This is
Okay, I pulled it up too, and so
That's loaded.
that's a pump for that's
407 milligrams of choline bitartrate. Like, why the 7? Like, what are we doing here?
That's to get into the Walmart.
If you have 408, that's a deal breaker for me.
That's
I'm
cut
fucking
off.
out.
Yup, you're out.
like you have a brain carnitine ingredient, acetyl L-carnitine. It's just a focus ingredient. It's a Citrate, which is citrus aurantium, which is fucking mild stim, mainly for fat loss. L-theanine to calm you down. This is a pump ingredient. It's got sodium and betaine, the only 2 ingredients in there for pump. And people take this and think it's good. I got a nice fucking bridge over in Brooklyn, and
Let's go.
I can sell you if you think that's a good pump ingredient, pump product. I got a nice bridge I can sell you.
All right, let's get off the hate train. What else you got there, Sean?
Yeah. Sean's like, all right. Let me answer ask the
Oh,
second.
we're adding to the fucking hate train. How about fuck price? That's fucking shit, bro.
Hey, take it easy.
Oh, Price Plow.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, let me know what's up with this. I don't know this story.
You hear their new made up fucking imaginary fucking pre-workout category they have now?
No, what?
It's the non-DMHA, non-DMAA, non-isopropyl-norepinephrine, non-sketchy ingredient, high-stim class of pre-workouts.
So you mean NutraBio only?
So NutraBio won.
Of course.
See the video they posted. I wouldn't say they won, but they posted a video on YouTube. This is the most intense high-stim pre-workout of 2021, and then they prefaced it by saying, it doesn't include DMAA, DMHA, any banned or questionable ingredients in there.
No gray area.
And he went on. Mike went on and on to talk about how amazing and crazy this pre-workout was. Bitch, Immortal X doesn't have no shit, and I will fucking shit all over Unbound, whatever pre-workout.
Don't you have a isopropyl norepinephrine?
Not this formula.
No.
This formula, nope.
Okay.
I will.
We have regular synephrine.
Here we go. Nick, you're gonna bug out.
He forgot his own formula.
Oh, you're making him blow up. That TRT's kicking in.
I can't even remember no more.
Get
Nick,
the glasses out.
Your nap. Did you forget to take your afternoon nap, brother? I'm sorry, was it the wrong time?
Nick, you want me to go to your website and look it up?
The most sketchy ingredient on here is the area gerensis.
Ooh. Take it easy, Nicky.
Ooh.
Come on.
But yeah, so they come out with this, this video because everybody knows Price Plow, you pay to play. And I remember a company I used to work for. I think we wrote them a check for like $8,000 for talking about 4 products that we were dropping, and they say all these nice, beautiful things about your company, which, I love NutraBio, I love Mark, but I mean, it's not his fault that they lie to their consumers and tell them this is the most intense fucking high-stim pre-workout of the year. And it's really not, bro. Not even close. Like, it's not even a high-stim pre-workout at all. Like, not even close to a high-stim pre-workout. It's a baby daily driver. Shit like
Sean.
We both said it.
Sean, I think you're frozen.
Nope, I'm just listening.
Sounds like I'm getting a phone call later. But it's just stupid shit like that. Like,
take that video down, Sean.
Like, you make up fucking categories because somebody's paying you money and you're lying to your fucking customers. Well, consumers, whoever, followers, whatever they want to call them. You're literally telling them shit because it's not a high stim product. It's okay. It's decent. I know a bunch that'll shit all over it.
Nick, I think you and Tim Borski.
I'm not writing checks to them, so
I think you and Robbie Stamborski and Branch Warren get in the car, go down to Texas, go visit Price Plow.
They would shit their fucking pants.
Him and Rob will fit in the car once fucking Branch gets in.
Yeah, first off, Branch got to ride in the back.
We have a pickup truck.
Yeah, that's a big boy. Shit, we might have to strap his ass to the roof. He's big.
Oh,
man.
yeah, like a deer.
I don't know if we can get him through the door.
Just have to push it the whole way.
Opens up so he can. James, can we borrow your trailer? We're gonna take Branch down to Texas.
Holy shit!
But it's just fucking stupid. Like, you sit here and you're listen. Your job as a supplement reviewer, connoisseur. Listen, I can see that, Pete. Okay.
Yeah, Pete.
But your job when you're a supplement reviewer, you're a connoisseur, you have an information page, You're supposed to be an unbiased, honest human being and company. But without NutraBio and Ghost, Price Plow doesn't make a profit because those are the only 2 companies that pay them. Ugh. Specialists out of their mouth.
You need someone to smack you in the back.
It's all fucking lies, bro. It's like, fuck, man. Listen, I understand these companies are paying you. You're a business. But could you be honest? Could you stop feeding bullshit to the people? The people want to know the truth.
You see, Sean, you got Nikki all riled up.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now their pump formula, a lot of nitrates, good formula. Their pre-workout, it's a good formula. I guarantee you, it's gonna make a lot of people sick. So they're gonna make a lot of people puke from that one. But
Nick, with that one, have you seen the price list on it for wholesalers? Eddie, you've probably seen it.
I've been.
No, I didn't see it.
Aware. Any motherfucker who ever tells me that my wholesale price list is too fucking expensive can suck a dick, because I have 20% more product serving wise in mine than theirs. It's better. Theirs tastes like shit from everybody I've talked to. My shit tastes better, works better, has more, and costs less.
Sound like a whore to me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing this wrong, Nick. Why are you?
I don't have a certain company name attached to it. Y'all pay out the ass for a product that's not even that good because it's got a name attached to it. But then you cry when small guys like us say, "Oh, well, our wholesale's this," because we need to make some kind of fucking profit.
Oh. Yeah, well, I love when they go, "Hey, we all know how much this costs to make." Like, "Oh, we do."
Oh, do you?
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
My girlfriend just texted me and said, "My mouth is atrocious."
Atrocious. I'm going to get your shirt that this says atrocious.
So
I'm glad she really loves you, Nick.
She picks on me.
So, guys, for the four of us, why can't we open our own Rocktomic? Do you guys know what Rocktomic is?
Rocktomic is shit. That's what it is.
Oh,
but they're making money. Why can't we do it?
Hey, if you want to be a piece of shit and make money, that's on you, but I'm not doing it.
Well, we can do it more ethically, man. Do more ethically. I'm not saying unethically.
You can't do shitty things ethically. That's like all Rocktomic does is take other people's shit that was labeled stripped off of it. Somebody didn't pay for it. It's almost expired. Fucking
guys, start your own supplement company for $39.
You don't even have to hold the product. We'll ship it for you. Hey, you see the?
Look at that. Look at that face.
What is that?
Look at that face.
Oh,
That's your trainer?
Oh my god! What is that?
That's the guy from Rocktomic.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Nikki, that's your trainer.
Oh boy.
I just feel bad because Nick, you were talking about ads. I get ads all the time, or these new people pushing. Like James, you've seen some of these things. The prop blend, the power prop blend, 1 gram of citrulline, arginine, and whatever for 1 gram.
And so this is what really fucking pisses me off. So Nick had his rant. I'm gonna have my fucking rant.
There we go.
Bring it.
Let it out.
So as a smaller brand trying to do the right things, and we're on year 2, so we've gone through some struggles, and I constantly hear fucking people going, "Well, I want to make my own pre-workout. I want to start my own supplement company." It's like, okay, but do you really understand what goes into that? You get these guys that are sending out these ads, and Rocktomic's not the only one. There's another place in Atlanta that is getting bad about putting out these Facebook ads, starting your own brand, your own protein.
NutriCap?
Yeah.
NutriCap?
Yeah. And the thing that really irks me about this is like, okay, you've got a business to run. That's great. I appreciate that. But we're preying on people who do not understand the hustle that it takes and how much work it really is and how much business acumen you have to launch a pre-workout and get that into the market. They just think they can put some formula together, they put some hot label on it, and then all their bros are going to buy it, and they spend thousands of dollars. And you know what their return rate on customers are? Most of them do 144 runs, and their return rate's like 5% of people who get to reorder the next step. So you're fleecing the fitness market. I mean, you really are. You're taking advantage of people who do not understand what this really takes.
People, I mean, James, this man's always on the fucking road, always working. I don't do shows. I've done shows. I hate doing shows. For me, especially at least down here in South Florida, there's no benefit for us to do them. People have no idea the amount of work that goes into owning a supplement company and actually trying to make it profitable and grow. Like, people have no idea. None. They think it's easy.
Yeah. You think because you told your buddies that you're going to make a pre-workout that they're going to buy it. Hands down, 1 out of the 4 dudes at your gym will buy it. One time. After that,
tell me, what kind of discount can I get? That's what all my friends tell me.
Oh, or here's the good one as well. You know, I want to be a sponsored athlete.
Oh,
You
I
give
love
me
that
your
one.
product, I'll tell all my buddies about it. Oh, because I can't tell them?
Yeah,
Like, you're not going to tell them to help me out? Like, I have to give you free shit for this?
yeah.
And, and I have more followers than you, and I just started an Instagram. Like,
you know, it's one of those things. Like,
I'm in better shape than you. Like, what the fuck am I going to give you pre-workout for?
I had one guy hit me up, and he's like,
Sorry.
I can get you in all these stores. Okay, go get me in these stores first. If you claim to be able to, you know, you're so popular in the fitness industry, and at your stores that are around you, and you claim to be so popular there, I'm not going to give you anything. You go get me in those stores first. Then we'll talk.
Here's my new pitch back, okay? So you hit me up in my DMs, happens quite often, and say, hey, I want to be a sponsored athlete. Okay, I'll give you a discount code. And we don't do a bunch. It's a 5% discount. I can track everything that you do. You convert 4,000 in sales, you'll be a sponsored athlete. Do it 2 months in a row.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Everybody just wants everything for free.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, you know, you work for companies like RC, you know, you get free product every month. You know,
He said RC.
tax write-off. It's tax write-off. They get free product every month at cost. And not cost, their cost, like consumer cost. Full retail. They're free shit. Full retail. So listen, when you're everybody wants to be a sponsored athlete, listen, I can tell you I have friends that have larger companies. We used to have a guy with the company I worked with before. He was on the Olympia stage at 212. You think these motherfuckers put in any work? No. Put in some work first. Show us, like, you know, you're actually worth some sort of return on investment and not just throwing money out the door, because, I mean, I could just take money and burn it if I wanted to. And then we'll talk. But when you tell them you actually have to put a little work in, you know, before I'm going to give you free shit, they're like, yeah, it's not free for me. It's not free for him. We pay for this shit. If it ain't free for us, why is it free for you?
Right. You know what I still do when I take a pre-workout for personal use and I open it up and that's going to be James drinking it? I process an order from my personal account to my business account. Yeah. And I buy it just like everybody else.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, people think like it's free. Like, there's nothing in life, in our industry, that's free. We don't get free product. We pay for it. Like, we literally pay for it. So if it's not free for us, why are we going to give it to you? You know, I have my own. I do the same thing. I have my own name. Anytime I buy one, if you look up Nick's James, it's like, man, this guy orders a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's the best customer on my Shopify.
I am my best customer by far. I think I kept myself in business. You know what I mean? But you know, everybody wants it for free, and I know one of my guys. He's getting ready to fire like half his fucking people because they all want everything for free, but none of them do anything. You know,
come on, Nicky, you sent me a free tub of Immortal.
You guys are different. You know,
and
that's another thing.
I do a video for you. I promote it, so it's different.
Eddie's one of the few guys that I think probably actually converts sales. But I get a lot of reviewers that are like, "Hey, yeah, send me your product. I'll review it," and it's like, I don't get anything off of it. Like, who's actually buying, unless you have DMAA in it and somebody's like, this is the craziest, most illegal shit, you know, that's the only time anybody really buys it. Like, hey, you know what? This is a really solid product. Yeah, whatever. I'm going.
Those dark energy numbers.
Those dark energy numbers, that shit was off the hook.
Eddie, did you get a kickback for any of that?
There's some zeros. That shit
no kickbacks. Literally just straight. We bought it in large quantities, and that was it. Just like anybody else in retail. Damn. Just bought it in tubs. No kickback, nothing. Just straight. They became popular, but they did something dumb, which was they put themselves out there too much to the point that they were looking for the attention. And what happened was then all of a sudden you had the TikTokers doing dry scoops, and everybody was showing the tubs, and I'm like, no, stop.
They were calling other supplement owners trying to sell them their product. I know, like two or three guys that, like, because they were just blind calling people. and these guys like run other brands, and then the dark energy guys are like, hey, we'll sell you dark energy, and they're like, what the fuck are you calling me for?
Yeah, it's they made a lot of fucking money. But
bro, forget about
they're in
it.
jail now.
Hey,
so.
back to that other thing is you can make as much money being a shitty person as you want. I mean, that shit's easy to do.
Ask them where they are now. Ask them where they were on Easter.
How many companies do you
I'm
think
locked up.
How many companies do you think open a year, and how many close? You think 1,000 and like 999?
Oh,
Supplement wise, there's got to be close to 100 companies a year that open. And
I feel like more than that.
A year. Well, I mean that you actually like can
hear about.
There's a guy at our gym that he opened. He started a pre-workout line, and the only reason I know about it, I mean, the fucking guy trains at my gym. The only reason I know about it is because some girl that took my product was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a sponsored athlete for them now," and I'm like, "Oh boy." So I went and looked at their formula, and I was like, "This is honestly worse than the pre-made factory formulas." Like it was that.
Oh my God.
Like you took their pre-made, we just slapped your label on it for $5 pre-workout and made it worse. Oh shit! How do you even do it? How do you take their crappy product and make it worse? Because by the way, there's one floating around the UK where I think like 10 companies have the same exact formula. If it's a pre-made formula from a manufacturer, it's garbage. It's cheap and it's garbage. But
you mean 500 milligrams of citrulline isn't enough?
Listen, it's all about 100 milligrams of citrulline. That's where it's at. That's the clinical dose. It's the clinical dose. But yeah, they actually made it worse. I was like, God, I didn't even think that was possible. But that's the only reason I even knew they had a company. So there's probably a ton of those, courtesy of Rocktomic and others.
I mean, like I said, that NutriCap number, 5% return rate. So you have to think that's 95% of them that are going to fail or not even sell enough in year one to reorder.
Yeah, it's doing right, man. Unless you're sitting here and you got a $2 million startup investment from somebody like some other companies, or
somebody front you $500,000 worth of manufactured product.
Yeah, if you don't have an investor with a deep pocket, how do you think BPI started? They got a giant IOU to somebody. That's how ProSup started. That's how all these companies started. They had investors. They gave them money. And if you're not one of those people that has an investor lined up and just writing you checks, it's why do you think that new Unbound line is owned by Mark? He's got money. He's got fat pockets. Yeah. That's how you start a successful line like that.
Most of the new successful lines are run by people who already are in here and already established.
Yeah.
It's just an offshoot of one of that guy's offshoots,
So us small guys, 99 out of 100, gone within the first year.
Yeah. And most of them that are trying to do it halfway decent, the guys that may level up is like kind of what Blackstone did is you sell that gray area pro hormone sketchy shit and then try to back down off of that and hold some market.
Yeah, and it's one of these situations. I mean, even the guy, one of the guys I worked for before, I mean, he would spend $40,000 trying to advertise here, $10,000 to advertise there. And he was around. I mean, his formulas were great. He was a great formulator, but at the end of the day, the products weren't that good, and the marketing sucked, the branding sucked, and then the money, the where he put his money as far as advertising, all went to the wrong place, and he was up shit's creek without a paddle, But his other line has one product in particular that pays for both lines, and it's unless you're in that situation. If he didn't have his secondary line, that company would have been out of business years ago. A year after it started. And, that's what we run into. And people always like, well, I want to start a line. I know a lot of people that want to start a line. That's cool. Start one. But plan on just whatever you plan on putting into it, burn it. If you don't care if you burn that money right now, then do it. Because that's that's what happens with most of us. We're not rich. So it's a hustle, it's a grind, and it's not easy. But we're still here. Yeah. People off one podcast at a time.
Like James, I talk to a lot of people. You got to be one of the hustlers out there going to every freaking show, brother. I give you credit. And can I ask you, are you breaking even at least at these shows, or is it more just trying to get the name out there?
It all depends. I mean, some of them, like last year, I mean, we did a lot of stuff post-COVID. I mean, we had ramped up. I had a full schedule, this whole thing planned. We were going to like really hit the ground running, grassroots style, and then COVID hit. So a lot of the stuff last year was just, instead of throwing money at Facebook, and we're creating content in real life, meeting people, networking. So, you know, it gave me stuff to post about, to put in my stories, to put on social media, run ads on, you know, whatever. Yep. And like when I say run ads on, like promote a post for $40. I mean, this is where I'm at with it. I don't have a big advertising budget. I don't think that's where really we stand out. So some of them, you know, we get the booth for a couple $100 and, you know, we'll break even on revenue or we'll break even on profit. You know, it just depends on where it's at. Like we did the Europa Expo, is we made enough sales to cover everything included in that, and most of the travel and everything too, for bringing an athlete down and having some help. So it's hit or miss. You know, I've gone to one. We went in April. I sold $40 worth of product. Yep. And you know, I mean, it goes that way, but for me, I know that I do better selling our brand face to face. And even at that, you know, like I'll meet somebody that owns a gym. I'll meet these promoters, people that are in the industry. And so that's what's working for us right now. It's all part of, you need to know who Impel Nutrition is before you even consider buying our product.
Yep. Well, guys, it's winding down. I mean, Eddie, anything you want to share while you wind down here?
I'm hungry.
It's like,
I'm being honest. I'm fucking starving, man. I'm like, yo, man, I'm thinking I got food fucking jumping in front of my face. I'm so hungry. I'm surprised you guys didn't hear my stomach growling on camera. Nikki's ready for that foot long.
That man meat sandwich.
I thought that was Saturday.
I think it's man meat Sunday, man.
Today is pizza night.
Oh, okay. Sunday, ice cream.
Yesterday was man meat Saturday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, today is pizza.
Pizza. Oh, shit.
That's how I stay so skinny.
Body of a champion.
You know, the fucked up part is I eat like a fucking asshole. But people don't realize how much genetics play a part of this shit. And
yeah, I can eat like an asshole and keep abs for a while.
Yeah, no, I don't have abs. But like the last blood work I did a full cholesterol test and all this and that. Now I eat like a fucking dick, and this is since I was like, I don't know, 10. And my cholesterol total was 166. And they're like, for a guy who literally like eats no vegetables and eats pizza, cheesesteaks, and Chick-fil-A every day, how the fuck is your cholesterol so low? And I'm like,
ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha and L-theanine.
Cialis.
And Cialis. That's the blood pressure. You know, but it's like, fuck, man. I eat like
if you ate clean, your cholesterol would be like 98.
Yeah, but I did it, and I think the longest I've ever made it eating like clean was like a week. Like it was horrible. It was the worst thing ever, trying to eat broccoli and chicken.
So Nick, this is the real question for me: is how much do you spend each week eating out?
Oh shit, at least 300.
Do we have to talk about that right now?
because like chicken and rice, I got on that train because that shit is cheap. You know, you can do that shit on a budget.
On a budget, yeah.
Like I go get a pizza and I'm like, damn, there goes $40.
Yeah.
Like, when I pull up to Chick-fil-A, they're like, "Hey Nick, you're regular," and they already have it shit typed in.
That'll be $50. Yep.
You know? But I'm like the Chick-fil-A. They have like different tiers of reward.
Like your rewards points are like through the roof, right?
Oh, beyond through.
He pulls up, he already gets 5 free things because his initial I was already given him.
Yeah,
He's like the only diamond member.
Yeah.
The top tier, and my lifetime points total is a little over like 35,000 points that I've earned at Chick-fil-A.
Jesus Christ, Singerman would be jealous right now.
Yeah, listen.
So what's the go-to order at Chick-fil-A? Because I think this says a lot about how people eat.
All right, so
James, I was talking about this.
my standard order.
30-piece nuggets.
Standard. No,
The catering bucket.
they do. Listen, they do make a 30-piece nugget meal. You just have to ask them. It's not on the board. You just go, I want a 30-piece nugget meal.
Yep.
Okay, what's the order? Go ahead.
All right. So number 2 regular, which is a spicy chicken sandwich regular.
Okay.
We don't do vegetables, lettuce.
Not the deluxe, the regular. Just one pickle.
With
one pickle.
No pickles.
Oh.
Not even the pickle.
So no pickles and pepper jacks. I don't want my bread to get soggy. We do the first combo with a Coke Zero. Then we get either standard order, extra spicy chicken sandwich, same way. No pickles and pepper jack. If we want to switch it up, we either do a 12-piece nugget or a 3-piece chicken strips with 2 Polynesian sauce and 2 buffalo sauce.
You remind me of the girl who orders the big ass pizza but says, "Give me a fucking Diet Coke."
I want a liter of cola.
He still got that Coke Zero, motherfucker.
Listen, that's how it all. Listen, I never realized. I actually looked at the macros one day. That little container of Polynesian sauce is so fucking bad for you. I was like,
hey, they sell it in the grocery store now?
It's in my fridge.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that shit
it's like
is
pre-workout
so bad
for him.
for
He's
you.
doing shots.
Oh, it is so
It's
bad.
so
I'm
good.
like I was looking at my macros on the meal one day. I'm like, how is my fat so high? So I just like took off the sauces and I was like, oh my God.
There we go. Bingo.
Like there's like 500 calories.
Holy shit. There was something like, it's like, I think it was.
Yeah, but I heard if you're on TRT, it wipes all that out.
Oh,
You're
TRT
good.
handles everything for you.
Cancels all that bad stuff.
Cancels
You're
all
in
that.
the safe zone. Don't worry.
You take a needle, you shove it in your butt. All the bad shit from Chick-fil-A.
All the Chick-fil-A a man could want.
Oh.
Yes, it's amazing what TRT can do for you. But yeah, it's.
But see, my order's not that much different, but I don't go there often. Like, so when I go to Chick-fil-A, I'm off the rails already, right? So I'm already putting caution to the wind, and I'm just like, okay,
boy.
fuck it, we're here. So the deluxe, because I'm okay with a little bit of vegetables, all that. Pickles, lettuce, tomato, the whole 9. I'm a vegetarian too.
Yeah,
And 8-piece nugget, large fry, and then a large vanilla milkshake.
Oh, listen. They're milkshakes.
I never had one.
So if you go during the winter,
you are missing out. That is hands down the
And they
best
just opened
milkshake
one up 5 minutes away from my house. I'm gonna have to go now.
you have to go. So
right now. Like
Pepper
log
milk,
off. The fuck out.
You guys are coming with me. I'm gonna fucking drive.
Let's do it. What is it called? Peppermint chocolate, whatever milkshake, whatever it is during Christmas time. That's amazing. But if they happen to run out of the peppermint, get a strawberry milkshake with Oreos.
What?
Yeah, just tell them you want a strawberry milkshake with Oreos. Whatever the milkshake that they use for that peppermint candy milkshake thing, tell me you want that, but with Oreos instead.
Ooh.
Okay.
Listen,
Now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to order that and a vanilla, and because if that one's terrible, I'm gonna drink half of it and then throw it away. And then
have you
drink
ever
my
seen
vanilla.
this figure? Okay, this figure is not because I'm eating garbage food. It's because I'm eating listen, now, if I was like, go get the fried zucchini, then we can talk. But the peppermint candy, whatever shake, get the milkshake part, but with Oreos because it's not Christmas time. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next cheat meal. It's done.
Holy shit.
And it's pretty. Yeah, I eat there at least 4 days a week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's a $100 bill.
At least 4 days a week. At least 4 days a week. Sometimes 5.
Oh,
You guys
here we go.
Have you heard of this Jester research?
What's that?
So somebody just chimed in. What do you all think of Jester research and development Overlord pre?
Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I saw
I've
that.
never heard of this. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, it comes in a shady bag.
Pre-workout in a bag, and they have all these claims about how scary and dangerous it is. They could kill you.
It's a legal disclaimer. Like literally, if you're taking this, you're acknowledging that you're not taking it, and research chemical only, and blah blah blah. You will not sue us. I mean, it's in-depth.
But again, it's from probably another country. We don't know anything about it, so it's just one of those you just don't know.
I can't even find it. Jeez.
No, you're not going to find it. It just popped up yesterday.
Oh,
They said
it's
it's
like
garbage.
Yeah, the bag
like
just dropped off at Review Bro's house.
Oh, it's on Review Bros. That makes
Yeah,
way much
Aaron and Craig just reviewed it, and it was literally, they said it lasted about 2. It kicks in the beginning and lasts about 2 hours, then it fades away. So I'm like, not worth my time for 2 hours.
And it tastes like shit.
Yeah, and it tastes like shit. So I'm thinking, fuck that. It's gonna shut off in 2 hours. I got more shit to do after 2 hours.
It's
Have you guys heard of crack cocaine?
Oh shit!
Yeah, they sell it a lot down here.
What are you talking about? That's what $1.
This is South Florida. We saw a lot of crack cocaine down here.
Meth is the shit.
But that Jester company, it's they're trying to make themselves out to be like some hardcore fucking crazy shit with all their little warnings and this and that. Blah 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 blah. My fucking dick's more powerful than that thing. Calm down there, killer. Like listen. There's one thing to try to be different and market yourself that way, and then there's just you're dumb. Like you're dumb.
All right, don't get Nikki started, everybody. Everybody calm down. Nikki gonna start.
blood pressure.
Remember,
going up.
Nikki, Musa.
They don't call it Rage Nutrition for nothing.
Yeah, I named it Raze Nutrition for a reason.
No, I'm being serious. You want something that's more productive and it's gonna last longer than 2 hours, then just take Nikki's pre-workout. The shit will I'll fucking do 2 heaping scoops and I'll go for fucking 8 hours.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't take it after like 8 o'clock because it's gonna be a bad night if you gotta get up.
And to top it off, Nikki's doesn't have a warning like that on the back of his bag.
I mean, I got a little bit of a warning on there, but it's nothing. I don't know, stupid ass shit. Research chemical in our R&D department. What is your R&D department? Your bathtub? See how many fucking shit you got to take after your pre-workout kicks in?
What are you talking about? R&D department's Rosa downstairs in the basement mixing shit with dirty hands.
Look, have the right mixture in here. Look, shake it. Okay, it's mixed properly. No, Jester. It is not mixed properly, Jester.
Oh man.
So, guys, as we wind down here, it's dinner time for all of us. James, is there anything coming in the pipeline here we should look for? Anything you want to tell the people?
Chick-fil-A flavored pre-workout.
Fuck the supply chain. How about that? That's everybody's go-to right now. Supply chain sucks. So when it clears up, we'll have some shit.
Nick, when is your BSM dropping? Did you even mention it?
Well,
now you got to get him started.
My
supply chain
here 2 to 3 weeks ago. It's supposed to drop in less than 8 weeks, but my flavor samples were supposed to be here 2 to 3 weeks ago.
That's amore.
I don't know. I'm still waiting. I mean, I paid for it. I don't even have flavors to tell you if it's like good or bad.
So that's another 5-6 weeks delay right there. Just trying to flavor it.
Flavoring is 30 days right off the bat. So
gotta be. And then right now everything is pushed back. Like I'm still waiting on. I've got protein and greens flavor samples that show up at some point. But we just put just 3 weeks ago for the new flavor of Vein to come out. And I text my rep and I said, "Hey, what's the estimated date?" He said mid to late October.
Yeah. It's one of those things like people, that want to start supplement companies, just realize just to get a flavor of a product, you could deny it. You could say, no, it sucks. 30 days. 30 days minimum just to get one flavor. That's just the way it is. Like literally, just to flavor it, 30 days. Now each time you want to flavor it, 30 days.
Boom.
30 days.
And if you want a decent pre-workout or whatever, Nick, how many times do you think that you got to adjust the flavor?
Oh,
like
Jesus.
on average?
Fuck.
At least 12.
We you know how many times we redid the formula for the flavoring on this, and it got to the point where even before production, I'm like, listen, we need to bump this up, and we need to bump this up, and we need to bump this up. And luckily, it came out good. But I mean, you'll change the flavor like 5, 6, 7 times at least before you're like, holy shit, this actually doesn't taste like garbage. And then you got to go from it doesn't taste like garbage to
it tastes good.
Work with something here, and protein's even worse. I mean,
yeah, I've run in circles on protein. It seems like, and then what's happened to us twice is I finally nailed it down. I go to put the deposit down and go, oh, it went up $11 a unit.
Oh,
yeah,
$11 a unit. Sorry, I'm moving on. See you later.
yep.
What? That's another thing people don't realize. It's like we had a friend of mine hit me up and he's like, yeah, my girl's brother wants to start a protein company. I'm like,
Time out, bitch. Time out. This ain't the time.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah, right now. Yep.
the answer is no. I had a guy ask me, oh, when you guys releasing a protein?
Here we go. He's shutting down again.
2030? I don't know, 2030? Like, fuck if I know. No. Not even worried about a fucking protein.
Just drink some fucking milk, bitch.
The only way for protein to be affordable right now is to walk outside with your own cow.
Yup.
That's it. You know, no, it's already bad enough as it is to cost out protein, and at COVID prices.
Yeah, it's
No, not a chance. You know,
and then if you wanted to sell it in retail too, get out of here. I mean, it just you can't afford to do it.
yeah,
You'll lose money.
yeah. Protein is a great loss leader.
I mean, if you can do it D to Z, or let's say 2 years ago, you know, you could do it, get it in retail, and it's a market basket filler. Is that somebody's going to come back for that protein every month? And so if they can associate your name every month, then hey, the pre or they're on your website anyway. You know, you're grabbing them with other products and hoping that it creates something. And you know, maybe you make profit after shipping online.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's one of those things like we tell people, protein is not to make money on. Protein is to get people to buy other shit to make money on. The protein's just there to
get you back every month.
Yeah, because we know you want a protein every month, so we want to make sure it tastes good. You know, and trying to go retail, listen, unless you're these big guys like NutraBio and shit where you have some sort of profitability in it, it's not going to happen. You know, because we have to sell it for more than we paid more than they wholesale for in most cases. Like literally, we paid more than they wholesale.
Eddie, what's your typical margin you look for? 45, 55, 65?
We're lucky, 45, around there. If we're lucky.
Yeah, there's some of these stores where I've straight up talked to them and they say we don't take in anything under 65%.
Yeah. And I mean that's see the problem is when you get these old school retail guys, I mean these guys used to work on 200% margins.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't as products develop and as competitions get stiffer and cost of manufacturing goes up, you're 200% margins. Listen, if you can get 50% as a retailer, take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
But they want, I want 65, 70%. Good. Go make the product yourself at that point, because unless you're buying from the big boys, those margins don't exist. They don't
and you have to have the volume. You can't be just one random store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have the volume. And it's not even just that. It's mom and pop retail stores right now, in the nutrition business suffer. A lot of them just, if they're not in the right location, that is the main thing first is the location.
Oh, location.
Second, location, so that's the main thing. But a lot of people don't think about that. And then they just get in and think, oh, you open up a supplement store, that's it, we're set. It's not like that. Majority of them all go out of business too because they don't learn how to treat people. One, there's a certain way of treating your customers and building relationships with customers. People stop that.
That's not around anymore. Me, I get to know people by name. I learn about their children. I learn about fucking cousin Ed, cousin Billy, this, that. I build a relationship with my customers. Then, of course, social media, YouTube, you promote online, and none of them do that. And then they're like, I don't know what's wrong. Bitch, look in the mirror. It's called self-awareness. You know?
There has to be, as a consumer walking into a store, it's like I made a rant a couple weeks ago when I went to Best Buy to go buy a TV.
Nick made a rant, guys. Stop the presses.
Raise the roof.
Can you believe I got annoyed by something?
Come on.
There was like 10 to 12 employees there. Not one of them helped me to buy a TV. One guy asked if they had a TV in stock, and he said no, and then walked away. My girl's over here with her. She's zapping away at TV. She's like, boom, boom, boom. And so that's literally how we're finding out about these TVs, is she's zapping, and then we're reading about it, and then we're reading the reviews on it. Nobody would help us. Literally nobody. I walked out of Best Buy with a TV that I just bought it because, I just didn't feel like going on Amazon and having it sent to me. When I could have done it from home on my couch, not left my couch, and just stayed in the air conditioning because it's 1,000 degrees. So from here to there, my balls are dripping sweat. Yeah. I could have done this at home in the AC.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a retailer, there's supposed to be some sort of experience there. Like, I want to talk to you. You're supposed to talk to me. We have a conversation. But that doesn't exist anymore. And then people wonder why they go out of business. Well, because you're a lazy piece of shit who doesn't understand.
Exactly.
It's not just going to be handed to you. You have to work.
Yeah.
For it.
And it's true. You got to, what it is, you got to build an experience for that person to have that feeling that they're thinking about you. Like, man, that guy, I'll never forget the guy. He called me by my first name. I can't wait to go back. He gave me free samples or whatever. Just make them feel, give them value, make them feel appreciated, and just show fucking some real human interest in the person. Not fake just for a sale.
That's crazy. Be a human being. It's amazing what that does in business.
Exactly.
That's
all it is.
Sean called me a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And yet here I am, because I remember that experience we had where he's like, and yet here I am. You know what I mean?
With much love, brother.
Oh, God.
I piss most people off. I'm used to it. It's cool.
All right, boys. I'm not trying to be rude, but that fucking Chick-fil-A with the milkshakes is calling my name.
What you didn't hear was James's wife yelling meatloaf.
No, we're not having meatloaf. Chicken and rice.
So Billy Gibbons, also known as Uncle Eddie, why don't you tell people where the shop is? People that are watching this for the first time.
All right, anybody want to come visit Uncle Ed? Come on down to fucking Rockaway, New Jersey. Just Google it, bitches. Nutrition Zone. Come see me. I'll give you free samples.
Do you not know your own address? Come on.
350, what is it? U.S. Highway 46, Rockaway, New Jersey.
They made a song about that one time, Rockaway.
And Nikki, you ready for this? When you come down to visit, there's a gym literally 2 steps next door.
Hey.
Location.
All about location.
Yeah.
And James, where can people find you, buddy?
ImpelNutrition.com. That's the easiest place to find us.
And Mr.
Nicky,
Nick?
Chick-fil-A.
Catch me at Chick-fil-A.
In the corner, hustling for $5 so I can get some Chick-fil-A.
Showing some leg.
But if I already have money for Chick-fil-A, you just go to razenutrition.co. And if you want to see pictures of my most adorable dog in the world, Raze CEO on Instagram, because I have the cutest dog in the world. Even though he's
And listeners, please buy from Nick, because if he raises $15,000, he can buy the M for his website.
It's 20,000. No, legit.
It's true, James. Tell Nick.
Guy in India, you have to get him started again. Has razenutrition.com. So he wants 20,000 to get the fucking M.
Yep.
So we kind of had the same thing. Like, I bought impel-nutrition.com first because the other one was taken. And literally like a month and a half later, they didn't pay their bill, and I scooped it up for free.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Listen, if this dude in India doesn't pay his bill, I'm waiting for that email. Shit's available. 20 they want for the M. I'm like,
hey, Nikki, how about this? You know, if you own sex.com, just the word sex.com, right now you can get $5 million.
Yeah.
So I'm going to offer him 14 and see if I can get ragenutrition.com and then forward it to Impel Nutrition.
And then
Yo, and James will even offer financing.
I'll forward it to meatspin.com.
Do you offer Zezel with that, James? Do you offer Zezel with that?
Yeah, hey, bring it on.
Crazy.
I'm doing 4 yearly payments, not 4 monthly payments.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time. And for people that are listening to this on iTunes, give a rating, give a 5-star review, and give these guys a follow. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself.
And just remember, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Bam! I'm off the Chick-fil-A, bitches. Peace out.
Adios. I have no idea how to hang this up.
Guys, take care.
Yeah.
Adios.
Thank you, guys.